What is a basic computer skill you were shocked some people don't have?
Had a situation happen with an older coworker when I worked at Pizza Hut who knew I was in college for CS. She walked up to me with gusto and says, "I need a windproof Wi-Fi router because the wind keeps blowing it away." Then when I tried to explain to her that wind doesn't blow away Wi-Fi. I shit you not, this lady goes, "No wonder you can't get a job in computers." A couple hours later, she's outside on the phone cussing out the ISP because they told her the same thing I did. Turns it was orchestrated by her grandson, telling her to ask for windproof routers. Like when your dad tells you to go into AutoZone to ask for blinker fluid.
Reading. You don't know how many family members have asked me to come help them because something popped up. Then why is it popped up? Box says update will happen tonight. Me, there is an update coming, nothing to worry about them. Oh wow, I'm so bad with this. I wish I understood it like you. ITS in plain English, just read the screen, god damn it.
I once did a bit of tutoring for folk, and I remember one lady asked how she could open Word. So I told her to move the mouse pointer over the Word icon and double click on it, to which she replied, "Oh no, I can't do that. I don't like those mice thingies."
Shape recognition. Does the end of the cable look like the hole in the machine? It's amazing how many people can't figure that out at work.
My computer turns on, but my monitor doesn't show the picture. Me, is your monitor plugged in and connected to the back of your PC? No, I needed to use that outlet, so I unplugged it. Me, sad face.
How to close a fucking browser.
Reading. Seriously. Read the text in the dialogue and you'll know what to do in 99% of cases.
Not knowing what double-click means.
Not recognizing a scam email when it's really obvious.
I'm in my 40s, I teach at a private elementary school. A teacher in her late 20s shared a Google Doc with me, and she had centered the title by hitting space bar a bunch of times. Another teacher, around my age, wanted to know why Google Docs would not translate her document into Spanish. It was a JPEG with text on it. No one seems to know any keyboard shortcuts.
Not knowing how to enter a URL. I've tried to get people to enter a URL over the phone and they just put it in the Google search bar, usually after first going to google.com.
Just navigating Windows Explorer and the organization of files. The amount of people who just stick every single file on their desktop is crazy, and they're not arranged in any particular order. When they need to find a file, they have to peer all around their desktop to find it.
My college roommate didn't know he could change his desktop background. He was blown away and went to show it to one of our other friends, who was also blown away because she didn't know you could change the background.
You'd be surprised how many folk don't know what to type into search engines to find what they're looking for.
Copy and paste shortcuts.
Knowing how to save or open a document. I'm not kidding. I work with teenagers. Edit, wow, it's amazing how many of these comments are kids and their phones these days, or kids have it too easy these days. Maybe when the OS is simplified, but they still can't work with it. The issue isn't that they've been working with simplified OS all this time.
Not realizing that there is more written in an email beyond the preview. Apparently, all emails are only a few sentences long and typically trail off mid-sentence according to this person.
That turning it off and back on is a solution to most common problems.
Literacy. No, I don't mean being computer literate, I mean reading the English words on a computer screen. In college, I worked as help desk, and you would not believe the number of calls we got because the user just didn't read the text on the screen.
Been working in IT long enough to where people not having basic computer skills doesn't shock me anymore. But still, how do people never figure out that you can search for programs in the Start menu? My Outlook is gone. Hit Start and types Outlook. Oh, there it is. How'd you find it? Straight face.
How to keep the desktop from having 100 program shortcuts on it. I've talked to people who don't want their desktop to be that way, but think it's unavoidable.
Not so much a skill, but I was shocked when I would interview people in my previous company at the number of individuals who don't have an email address or even know how to create one.
Reading. As a tech supporter, I get the stupidest questions. Client, there is a prompt here that says your computer needs to reboot to finish installing updates. Click here to restart. What does that mean? Me, it means your computer installed updates and needs to reboot. Client, how do I do that? Me, click on the prompt to restart.
Control+F. So useful, and so many people I know don't use it.
Just opening up and closing a tab on a browser, and also not knowing what I mean when I say what browser do you use?
Work IT, you will never be shocked by anything. There are a lot of people that don't know how to save/open a file, or I cannot tell you how many times I've had to teach someone how to browse to a website. Mostly old people that had a PC bought for them by their kids/grandkids, and the kids set it up so they can open Outlook to stay in contact with everyone and get photos. I had gotten a number of younger people too though, which is very surprising. Talking to a 25-year-old that doesn't even know how to turn their PC on. Thank fuck I don't work IT anymore.
People often forget they can Google stuff instead of posting questions on social media. Edit, pertaining to questions not requiring personal experience or perspective. For example, what are the colors of the rainbow? How many months are there in a year? Those type of questions.
While in a research class in college, about 3 years ago, my professor took the time to teach us how to use a keypad to facilitate data entry. Having taken a keyboarding class in high school, I thought it was unnecessary, until people started asking questions and actually learning. It was then that I realized how many people my age don't actually know how to use a keyboard. It was wild.
How to open Task Manager when everything is freezing and force quit programs. Ctrl+Alt+Del was one of the first things my mom taught me on our home computer back in '95. I'm not actually surprised that people don't know how to use Shift, Tab, and Enter keystrokes to navigate, especially when the mouse is AWOL. But it's one of those skills that just makes using a computer easier.
I'm 43 and grew up when computers were newer, and we were all very well versed in how they work and so forth. When I began my career in my 20s, I was somewhat of the tech guy. I figured younger people would know more than me in the future. No, it swung the other way. Example, I work with an intelligent woman who is 26 to 29 years old. She was on her laptop and said out loud in a meeting, "Hey, and now I know how to copy and paste. I can just copy and paste this a few times and make minor changes along the way." Wait. She didn't know copy and paste? And she graduated from university? It's not uncommon.